Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a little bit different and a bit of a challenge for me. So my challenge today is to use this sticker sheet and create some layouts and possibly some cards as well. So I'm just going to play around with this and see what I can come up with. I'm going to complement the projects that I'm working on with these gorgeous little Tutti Frutti mini shapes. And the other items I'm going to bring in will probably be some of the mix-in papers from the May June collection because they will coordinate beautifully with this range of stickers. So let's have a little play with this, and I will probably fast forward a lot of this video, but I'm starting off with a 2" by 12" strip, and I'm just going to peel off some of the stickers and place them onto the strip just like I would do with random stampings. So I'm going to alternate them down this strip and create a bit of a border that I will then trim down. This pineapple piece is quite large, so I'm just going to stick this section that I've cut off here over the top of that just to reduce the amount of size of that mint piece there. And I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to start working on another piece as well that I've got some ideas for. I've got another 2" by 12" piece, and for this one I'm going to concentrate mainly on the icy poles, and I'm going to do something a little bit different with this one. Started working on the first layout where I cut the little sticker strips up into 2 by 2" pieces, and then I matted those on an 1/8 of an inch larger piece of black cardstock. And I went ahead and I sort of played around with the placement for this, and I thought it would be rather cool to have a layout along these sort of lines. When I was cutting these pieces up, I had a piece at the top that didn't quite fit into another 2" piece. Rather than discarding this, I thought it would make a cute little journaling box. So I've gone ahead, as you can see here, and planned out the layout. I've cut a piece of black cardstock and put some 3 by 4 placeholders on here, and I've used a sticker strip along here and done some stampings. And I'm just going to show you how I did these little elements here. I thought this stamp here from the brushstroke set sort of looked a little bit like ice cream toppers and would suit in with this. So before I adhere everything down, I'm going to do some second generation stamping. I'm going to bring in some scratch paper, flamingo ink and lemon ink, and I want to create a little bit of a cluster up here because I'm going to put a title there. So what I'm going to do is stamp off first and then ink. And I'm just bringing this piece back as a bit of a guide so that I know where things are going to be placed. I want a little bit poking out from under here, and I can always go back and add more in. For the second layout, I've used that border strip that I created. I left it as a whole piece. I didn't cut it up like I did with the icy pole one. And I've sprinkled some of the Tutti Frutti mini shapes in amongst it and then just matted it onto some black. Now, I didn't have enough stickers to replicate this look onto the right page of the layout, so I've just anchored that with a strip of black cardstock, and then I've used the nectarine and the lemonade patterns from the mix-in and created some photo mats, dragged those through some black ink and just spread them across the page. I'm going to do some stamping with that same brush stroke set, and I'm going to use this long stripe image here and put it across the bottom of these photos. So I'm hoping my head doesn't get in the way too much for this. I'm going to use nectarine and glacier inks. The glacier ink I'm going to put up against the nectarine mat. I'm going to do a very light kiss off of the colour and then just put that across the bottom, and I'm going to repeat that for the other nectarine mats. Then I'm going to bring in my nectarine and I'm going to give that more pressure when I want to do a second generation, and I'm going to layer it up over top of the glacier. And then the nectarine one will also go up against this lemonade one here. So that's layering up the colour just a little bit. I'm going to leave this out because I think I'm going to put my title using this wonderful sticker, and I think I want to anchor that with some of this stamping that I'm doing. I finished putting all the word strips on, and I sprinkled some of the Tutti Frutti little elements and sticker hearts around, and I decided that I wanted to bring in a little bit more stamping with this. So I'm just going along the edges, this little border dot stamp that comes from the Perfectly Imperfect stamp set. And I'm liking how this is looking, but I'm going to bring this in to where the word strips are as well. So I'm just going to mask off the edge, and then I think what I'll do is add a little bit more with some second generation and maybe even third, just to give that a little bit more depth. So by repeating this little dot strip underneath these little word sentiments, it just brings a little bit more cohesiveness to the layout. And I think what I might do is just add another little bit here. I'm playing with danger here, trying to add in just a little bit more. I quite love how this looks. I know that nectarine isn't in the colour palette for Tutti Frutti, but I really love the freshness that it brings to these layouts. This is all I've got left from the sticker sheet, and I'm going to create some gift cards that will hold a little gift card in that. So hang around and I'll show you those. I need to apologise, there's a bit of background noise because there's still construction going on next door and they're working right along my boundary, so I hope it's not affecting the video too much. As you can see, everything on here has been used with the 4 pages that I've created and the cards that I'm about to show you. So I'm really happy with the use of that, considering that I didn't have any Tutti Frutti papers left over. So here are the cards that I've created, and you'll see that what I've done is use these 3 large images here to put on a card rather than a scrapbook layout. And I've used this thin cut, it's the gift card tabs, to create a little spot to hold a gift card on the inside. So when you open this up, and this one I think is pretty cool because there's a bit of sunbeam holographic paper behind it, and I've put the black and the holographic paper on an angle, but I've kept the actual sticker and the pattern paper here straight. So when you open these up, and they're all the same on the inside, there is a little spot for a gift card to go. So when you look at these thin cuts, these little semicircles create the perfect place to hold a gift card. So you could have it this way or you could have it that way. It doesn't cut the outside pieces, it only cuts these little semicircles, which is rather cool. And to keep the gift card in place, because this is really a decorative thing, I would use either dot roller, glue dots, or if you buy magazines where something is attached to the top of them, like a little freebie, sometimes there's that little sticky sort of stuff. If you keep that, that will work on adhering a gift card. And inside all of these cards, I've kept it fairly similar. I've used the same sort of mix-in papers, and I've stamped a sentiment and 2 little hearts so that when you put the gift card in here, it will hide the little sentiment, and when people remove that, they'll see the little message. The other thing that you might notice with these cards, except for this one, I've actually adhered them to black cardstock and then fussy cut around the outside just to make these ones pop just a little bit more. The finished layouts I think have come up quite well with just the use of the stickers and a few little pieces of mix-in papers. The blending between the Glacier and the second generation Nectarine I think adds a bit of fun to this, as well as the dots and stamping off, so I'm really happy with how both of these layouts look. This one goes back to something that I used to do years and years ago with making little borders and cutting them up, and not wasting this little bit that wouldn't make the 2x2 inch square. I think makes a great spot for journaling and dresses up a little journal box there. So I hope this video has given you some ideas on what to do with sticker sheets, even if you don't have an entire sticker sheet left over like I did. If you've just got portions of them, you can create little elements to put on your pages to dress them up, and then create your own little panels of embellishments that you can cut down or use as border strips. I'll put some still shots up at the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching today. Happy crafting and bye for now.